Hi, I'm Veronica. I teach somatic techniques and I help you to deal with anxiety and the somatic or bodily symptoms of the anxiety. Today, I would like to show you a very simple breathing practice, which has actually a couple of purposes. So, first of all, it is one of the calming down breaths. For most of the people, it would work as that down regulator of your nervous system. So it might bring you into that rest and connect mode. Additionally, it really allows you to become more aware of your breath and of your sensations within your body. However, I would like to point out that with all kinds of supposedly calming down practices, there is always a possibility that for you it won't really feel that calming. It might have the opposite effect of you getting a little bit nervous or kind of irritated. So if that happens, then most probably you first need to kind of release the tension that is kind of gathering within you, and you might find it more useful to look at one of the videos from the Let Go series. And it's also interesting how very similar practices might have quite a different effect. So that's why I'm going to offer you two options today. And perhaps one of these is going to be this natural, soothing, really calming, really pleasant one, while the other one will be like, I'm not so sure about that. Okay, so before we even start, you can take a moment to make sure that you're in a position that allows you to sit upright but in an effortless manner. So maybe you can have a couple of pelvic tilts, and that will help you to find a place where you're really grounded through your sit bones, while the spine has all its natural curves, and also when your lungs are not compressed. So if you were collapsed, it would compress the lungs, it wouldn't give you that full, and compress your diaphragm, you wouldn't really have that ability to breathe freely. But also if you pushed all the way forward, it would limit your breath as well. So somewhere in the middle is that golden means. All right, you could also take time to find the lightest place for your head and see if you can release some of the weight of your shoulders. And once you've got all of that, you can start paying attention to your breath. Now it's entirely your choice whether you prefer to look straight ahead with a kind of unfocused gaze or have your eyes closed. If you prefer to have a look at me, you could, but actually what I say is more important than what I'm going to show, apart from that moment where I'm going to show you the hand and arm movement. All right, so first of all, once you know you're settled, you can start observing your natural breath. So for now, you're not trying to do anything with your breath, you're letting it flow freely, and you can notice how it is right now, without any judgments, without any expectations, without any wish to fix anything. Notice what you notice. Perhaps you notice that you had your teeth clenched or that your tongue is touching the palate. It could soften. Ask yourself if there is a possibility of that. All right. And we'll begin with that intentional breath now. Intentional in a sense that it's going to be even amount of breath on inhale, even duration of the inhale, even duration of the exhale. So the inhalation lasts as long as the exhalation. And now you choose what is going to be the best rhythm for that breath. It could be breathing to 3, exhaling to 3, inhaling to 5, and exhaling to 5. Up to you. It doesn't matter, so long as the inhale and exhale are of the same length. So you could give yourself a moment to get to that state, to find a way to even out the inhales and exhales. You don't even need to count them. Okay. And we're going to add the movement now. Now I have 2 different options. You can try both. You go first to the one, then to the second one, and then you can stick to the one that works best for you. So imagine that your hand is mirroring what your lungs are doing. That expansion and retraction that happens all the time. And you want to kind of picture that the breath is circular. It's not like 2 separate events, the inhale and the exhale. It's a circle. So every inhale seemingly turns into exhale. The exhale becomes an inhale. And your hand can draw that circular pattern in the air. Now, very important, the hand follows the breath, not the other way around, which means that the movement of the hand is just the expression, the illustration of what the breath is doing. And it's smooth and circular, and one turns into the other. Notice how you feel about this movement. And if you're not convinced about drawing that circle, you could do it mentally, or you could try that second movement. And this time, you could have your hand open, but without rigidness, without stretching it to its maximum. And you could imagine that this circle, the same circle I was talking about, now it's more the radiation, where the nucleus of it is in the middle of your palm, and it spreads, expands when you inhale, and it contracts, retracts, but without contraction, without squeezing when you inhale, when you exhale. So inhale for expansion, exhale for retraction. Like this. Again, hand only mirrors what naturally happens in your breath. So it's the rhythm of your breath, the natural rhythm of your breath that dictates the movement of your hand. No matter if you decided to pulse or if you decided to draw a circle. I stick to the circle. For me, it's more soothing. And stay with it for some time. Now that you know what the movement is about, you don't need to look at me anymore. You could look ahead, Have your eyes closed. Follow the natural rhythm. It's the breath that dictates the movement of the arm, not the other way around. Sometimes at some point you might feel that almost something starts moving your arm, but you don't do it yourself anymore, but your arm kind of gets moved as that extension, and expansion of the breath. All right. And after a while, you might start noticing that there is very tiny, almost unnoticeable pause at the end of each inhale and at the end of each exhale. So you could stay focused on that fluidity, how one moves into the other, how inhale turns into exhale. Or you could kind of rest into those poses, those micro poses at the end of each inhale and at the end of each exhale, as you wish. You decide on the focus. If at any point this starts feeling tiring or annoying to move their limbs, you could let them rest or carry on with that even breath. And if that as well feels too much, remember at any point you could shift. You could have a deeper breath. If it's soothing, if it's pleasant, you can carry on with your even inhale and even exhale. Let's do maybe 3 rounds more if you wish to join. And then let go of your breath. Let it go. Let it go freely. And maybe, as I said, you feel like you really need to shift. Or maybe yawn or sigh or do anything else that comes like a natural reaction after that breath. And then stay for a moment in relative stillness, unless some micro movement feels quite soothing for you. And give yourself time to observe. Observe what changed within you. It could be something that changed in the rhythm of the breath, in where you perceive your breath, in the tension in the body, maybe in that emotional tone, or your mood, or how much energy you have, or how much rested you feel. Anything at all. Just notice whatever comes into that broad field of consciousness. Stay with it just for a little bit longer. And that's it. I hope that you enjoyed this little practice. You can play with it. You could play with that movement if you prefer the pulsation or the circle. You could try doing the same when you're lying down. You could try that movement of the hand when the hand is actually resting somewhere on your body. So there are various ways to play with it, and find the one that works best for you, that works most soothing for you. I hope that you enjoyed it. And I just want to remind you that I'm posting a video every Monday, so you can subscribe to my channel. But also, every Monday, I send a newsletter with kindness where I explain far more about why this kind of practices are actually really useful in dealing with anxiety, overwhelm, and also chronic pain and tension. So, if you'd like to know more about my methods of work and get more in depth into that, then I really invite you warmly to join my newsletter, and there is a link to that in the comments below. I'll see you next time. Thank you.